episode of Stitch on Saturday. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do the Tunisian cable stitch, and using my Clover Takumi 6.5mm Tunisian crochet hook. You'll need a cable needle, and I'm using size 4 worsted weight Lily Sugar and Cream cotton yarn. So first what you want to do is chain a multiple of 6 plus 2. So I'm going to chain 20. Alright, so I've chained 20, and basically you're just going to do the foundation row as you normally would. So the stitches that you need to know in order to do the cable stitch is the Tunisian Purl Stitch and the Tunisian Knit Stitch, and I have tutorials for those as well, and I will link to them. You can hit the I in the corner above. If you don't know how to do those stitches, you can go in, take a look there, and then just work your return pass as normal. There's also a yarn over involved, and it's pretty simple. I'm sure you've seen it in traditional crochet. And even when you're doing Tunisian crochet too, like basically anytime you want to create a space, that's what you do in crochet. Okay, so we have the foundation row done, and the next step is to do Tunisian Purl 6, Tunisian Knit 6, and then Tunisian Purl 6. And you're going to do that for 2 rows. So the purl stitch, just to review, is you have your yarn in the front, you're going to go in and then just hold the yarn here and do that. Again, I've linked it so we can take a look again. I'm going to go a little bit quickly. 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to do knit 6 into the next 6. So knit is basically your yarn is in the back. You're going through these spaces, but not, how you have it in the front for your simple stitch. For the knit stitch, you're going into the back and pulling up a loop from the back. So like this. So how many did we do? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to do purl 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you're going to work the last stitch as normal, just going under both loops and just picking up a loop like that. The reason why you cast on multiple of 6 plus 2 is because your first loop that's always on the hook counts as your first stitch, and you're not working into that, so that's your number 1 of the extra 2 stitches, and then your last stitch is also an extra stitch. So you have to work your pattern repeats in the 6 multiples of 6. So then you're going to chain 1 and just do the return passes normal. So you're doing this for 2 rows, the Tunisian Purl 6, Tunisian Knit 6, and Tunisian Purl 6. That's the first part of your repeat. So I'm going to do that again. Right. So you're going to go through and do purl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's your purl stitch on your 6 stitches. Now you're going to do the knit stitch. So go in and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's 6 knit stitches. And then you're going to go in, oops, bring your yarn to the front and do purl 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oops, and 6. And then work your last stitch as normal. Okay. Okay, so you've done the first 2 rows of this repeat. Now the next repeat is where you're doing a yarn over. So I'll show you where. First, let's do the return pass quickly. And if you're just starting off, make sure you are counting your stitches so you don't lose any stitches, because this is a bit more of a complicated stitch. And then, okay, so now row 4, what you're going to do is you're going to purl, you're going to do Tunisian purl 6, and then once you get to the knit part, there's a yarn over there, so I'll show you. So first do purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's a purl 6. And then in the next knit section, what you're going to do is Tunisian knit 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you're just going to do a yarn over. Yarn over is just, you're bringing your yarn to the front like that. That's your yarn over. And then you're going to go into the next 3 stitches and do a knit stitch again. So 1, 2, 3. There. And now we're back at this part. So you're just going to do a purl. You're just going to purl 6 for the rest, for the purl section. Three, 4, 5. Oops, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've done 6 purl. Then you're going to work into the last stitches normal. Okay, then you're going to do a return pass. Right. Normal return pass here. You can start to see the stitches taking shape. You can see the pattern. So there's some knit stitches in the middle of, in the middle of this. See, you can see how it's forming, and there's a little yarn over in the middle. So for the row 5, what you're going to do is you're going to purl 6 again. This is where your cable needle comes in, okay? Oh, sorry, not yet. In the next row, but in this row you are going to purl your first 6 stitches, and then what we're going to do is knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're going through those knit stitches. Okay, so you do the knit 3, and then remember there's this yarn over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to skip that yarn over and you're going to knit into the next 3 stitches. So just skip right over it. Go in, pick up a loop, go in, pick up a loop, go in, pick up a loop. So there are 3 stitches, 3 knit stitches. Then again, we're going to go in and do our purl section. So purl stitches, 6 purl stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then just work your last stitch as normal, right? So there you have that. And then now the last row in the repeat. So first let's do the return pass, getting ahead of the game here. So do the return pass first. Make sure you're not losing any stitches. Make sure you're counting. You should have 20 stitches still. 6 for the pattern repeat, and then your first and last stitch should make it 20 stitches. All right, so there you go. You can start to see, kind of looks like a pretty bow, huh? But you can start to see the stitches coming together. Then the last row is you're going to do purl 6. So the purl section never changes. You're always doing purl 6. It's just the knit stitch section that has a pattern they have to remember. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we got 6 purl stitches. Sorry, 5 and then 6 purl stitches. Okay, now this is where you're going to use your yarn needle. Sorry, the cable needle. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you're going through those stitches. Then you're going to take your cable needle and just go through those 3 stitches that you just worked and just pull out your hook and leave them hanging like that. Then you're going to skip that yarn over again. You can see the yarn over is here. You don't want to work into that. You're just going to skip it. And then you're going to work a knit stitch into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So basically you're forming a twist. So you have these 3 on here, and then you're going to put these stitches back onto your hook. So 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Super simple. I know it seems really hard, but the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. So that's how it looks. If you want, you can leave your tension a little loose, so it's a little bit easier for you to work through those stitches in the next row as you have it here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just work into your last stitch as you normally would. All right, so there's that cable here. I should have kept my tension a little loose because, all right, so then you're going to do the return pass, and then you just repeat that 6 row or 5 row repeat again. And just make sure you're going through each stitch individually like this on your return pass. Should have been a little bit looser. Keep your tension loose when you're doing this. All right, and then, okay, so now we've gotten all the cables, I think. Just continue your return pass. I'm going to show you one more time. Right. Basically, you're going to do purl 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, you're going to purl 6, and then when you do the next like round of your repeats, just make sure you're going through the 3 stitches. What I like to do is just pull these up and out so I can see them. And I can actually make sure I'm going through all the stitches. So again, what you're going to do is knit 6, right? So 1, so 3 of them will be behind, 3 will be in the front. So just make sure you're going through each one. So this is your second stitch, and then we got one more that we have to go through, which is back here. You kind of have to like pull it out to see it. Okay, so there's your third. Okay, and then again, make sure you're going through the back. This is a little bit harder, but like just go, make sure you're doing the knit stitch and not a simple stitch into these. So go into the back, pull up a loop. There's 3 knit stitches here, so 1, 2, and then this is that third one. Again, like kind of pull it out so you can see it. There we go. There you have 6. Make sure you have all the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 knit stitches here. And then you're going to do purl stitches into the next 6 stitches, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more. And then work your last stitch as normal, and then do a return pass. And we're going to do this so first 2 rows are the same. So it's Tunisian purl 6, Tunisian knit 6, and then Tunisian purl 6. Okay, so there we go, just doing the normal return pass here. It's not that difficult, just a matter of getting used to working these middle knit stitches. Okay, so second row that we're doing is this. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got that. Now you gotta do the knit stitches. 1, 2, oops, 2 and 3. Now we're gonna go 1, 2 and 3. All right, and then just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we did 2 rows of Tunisian purl 6, Tunisian knit 6, and Tunisian purl 6. All right, I'm doing a return pass here. Okay, oops, make sure you are not losing these stitches. Okay. All right, so then next row is where you're going to add in your yarn over. All right, so purl 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Purl 6, and then we're gonna do knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then gonna yarn over and then do 1, 2, 3. Okay, we did knit 3 again. Then just gonna do purl 6, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. All right, and then the last stitch is gonna work through that, and then you're just gonna do a normal return pass. Make sure you're not losing any stitches, be careful. Okay, and then purl 6, right? And then 3, 4, it's supposed to be a purl stitch, so I did 6 purl stitches, and now we are back with our knit section. So just gonna do 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna skip that yarn over. Remember, you just want to go and do 1, 2, 3 knit stitches. So you have 6 knit stitches again, and then you're gonna do purl 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then do that. Okay. And just do the return pass, and then your next all right, so then the next row is where you are going to, so we skipped that, yarn over, and now this is where we use our cables, the last row, 5 of the repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember with the cable, with the purl section, we're just doing purl 6 each time. And then when we get to the knit section, what we're doing is 1, 2. Okay, this time I'm gonna pull up a little bit looser so that it's easier for me to work in the next row. So do 1, 2, 3. I'm pulling up the loop a little bit looser, so that's 3. And then what we're doing is taking our cable needle and we're gonna transfer these 3 stitches we just worked onto the needle. All right, it's gonna be a little bit loose, but I think that's good for our next row. And then we're just gonna work, remember, skip that yarn over and just work 1, 2, and 3 knit stitches. All right, and then what we're gonna do is take these stitches and just put them back on one at a time. So 1, oops, 2, and 3. There we go. And we have them back on, and then we're gonna work our purl stitches. So 6 purl stitches again. So go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, you got 6 purl stitches. Work until the last stitch is normal, and then we are going to do a normal return pass, right? Just do a normal return pass like this. Okay, and then do one at a time. So just be careful that you're not going through 2 stitches at the same time or missing a stitch. This part is important. All right, so 3 there. And it helps when it's a little bit looser. So there we go, we got all 6 stitches on here. Now we're going to work our purl section. Oh, sorry, this is our return pass still. Okay, so just continue your return pass, and then in the next row we're going to start again. But remember, when you're working through these stitches, the knit stitches, make sure you're working into them and going into the back. So I'll show you again. This is my next repeat starting. I just want to show you one last time. And right, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one more purl stitch. Okay, now you see there's a little cable here. So we'll go into the first 3 stitches in the back. So knit 1, and just make sure you're going through each stitch. And if you want to, you can hold it open like this with your fingers. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to do the same into these front stitches. But again, make sure you're going into the back and pulling up a loop like that. Because this is a knit stitch, right? If it was a simple stitch, then you would do it on the front. But go in. This is your next knit stitch. Go in, pull up a loop like that. And then go in, pull up a loop like that. So those are your 6 knit stitches. And we're going to go in and do 6 purl stitches. Right. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then just work your last stitch as normal. Alright, sorry. Then just do a normal return pass, and this is it. So I hope this helps you conquer cable stitches. I used to find them intimidating too, but they are so fun to work with. They create some beautiful texture for your projects. So this is what it will look like. think they're absolutely fun and beautiful. Just look at that. I think that's great. And yep, I'm gonna link what I use and materials in the description. But if you found this tutorial useful, please subscribe, share, comment, and like, and I will see you next time for another Stitch on Saturday. Take care.